I do. I do. I very much so feel appreciated.
So let me. I mean, do you? I'm gonna ask the question. Do you think fathers matter, or is this just you just trying to open up some conversation? I do want to know your stance on it.
I don't. I don't think. I don't think fathers matter, generally speaking. Not today. I think that too many men are inefficient as human beings. I don't think enough men are. I don't think enough men have discovered their humanity. So I would say no. I think, and when I say they don't matter, I'm saying they are not a net positive.
You don't
No,
think they're net positive?
no.
So, despite studies, statistics, all those stuff that shows that fathers that are or children that have
Two parent
fathers
households. Yeah.
in their
You got to get
household,
into the. You got to dig into the studies though. You can't just look like do like a.
well,
You
dig
know.
into it. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you contest about it?
So I think that because in those same studies, it shows that single mothers when they make enough money, the outcomes are similar to two parent households. So it's not. It's to me, it wouldn't. It doesn't like just because the dad is there doesn't automatically mean that oh it must be because the father was contributing like and doing all this great stuff in the household. It seems like it's a money thing if you
Does
ask
it
me. That's
does
what
it
I
say
get
this?
for the
Does
most
it
part. For the
does it
most
say
part.
the same? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying for the most part it comes off it appears to me to be a money thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Does it
saying?
say the same thing about fathers that have money?
Say it again.
Does it say the same thing about fathers who have
Yes.
money?
Yeah, single fathers also they do the kids fare well because usually single fathers make they make good money. You got to think about the type of man that's going to go to court and fight for his child and get custody. Usually, that man has the ability to provide a certain type of lifestyle. Now, we also know that that man oftentimes passes off the responsibilities of those children to the women around him.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. So just so I mean that happens with
But
anyone that's a single parent, right? So if you're a single parent, you absolutely have to have a support system around you. I mean, we can talk about fathers who do that. Mothers do the same thing as well. I mean, it's very hard to be a
no, they
single
don't.
parent and not have a support system
That's a
around.
lie. See,
How's
that's
that?
a lie.
How's that not a lie? I
How
mean,
is
how's
that?
that a
How is that a lie?
yeah?
Single mothers be left all alone to do because women are expected two
Wait,
things. Two things.
brother,
A, hold
you
on,
call
CJ, be
everything a
quiet.
lie. You call
CJ, I
everything a lie
promise.
without any
Hold on,
backup,
bro.
brother.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Stop. Don't start. Two things. A, single mothers typically are punished by the fathers who left. First and foremost, that's step number one. Step number two, single mothers in society are also or mothers in general are expected to do whatever they're doing. It doesn't whatever they're doing, they're expected to do it. That's why and I've said this a million times and many people I've experienced this as a father. I'm not a single father, but I've experienced this as a father. Going out in the world with my kids as a father, I get it's like the whole world gives me a standing ovation. When my wife does it, people judge her if my child screams. People are looking at her like, "Oh, what's wrong? You need some help or some shit, some stupid stuff like that." When I go out in the world with my sons, people stop me and literally be like, "Super dad, I see." So yeah, that's it I've experienced with my own two eyes. I've also seen men when they are single fathers, they give the kids to their mamas, they give the kids to their new girlfriends, they give the kids to their new wives. All the women in their lives step up and start to help because people know that most men are not equipped to raise kids on their own, unfortunately, right? So people step up, but women, no, that's expected. That's her job. That's what she does. You're saying that's a lie? That's without a doubt that's not a lie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely, that's a lie. Here's how it's a lie. Because I've seen multiple single women who have children leave their children with their mothers, with their grandparents. They also have men that come into their lives that take up the slack for the men who left, like stepdaddies. They also have other support systems like friends when they want to go out, stuff like that. So they also have a support system. There is nothing wrong with a single parent having a support system, whether you are a father or a mother. And to sit up here and say that that's a lie, do you not believe that women leave their children with their with their mother or their parents? Yes,
Sometimes
they do.
they do
Absolutely.
sometimes. Not as
A
much
lot of
as
the time.
not as much as men do, and not in the
Dr.
they don't do
What
it as,
study
and
you
that's why,
have?
hold on, see Dave, stop.
No, I'm
And
just
that's
saying, what
why,
study
see
you making
Dave,
a claim?
see Dave, stop, please. That's why I think it's funny when I hear men say, when they try to be like, oh, you dropping that baby off with grandma for the weekend, as if men don't do that 10 times more. And also the things you're talking about, I'm not saying that what you're saying never happens. Of course it happens. 1,000%, without a doubt, what you're saying happens. No doubt about it. But does it happen as much with fathers? I mean, with mothers? I'm sorry, yeah. Does it happen as much with fathers? It happens more with fathers. The thing you're describing happens more. Statistically, women are less likely to remarry after they marry, right? After they've been divorced. I'm sorry. So men, because we're so codependent on women, as soon as we get out of a marriage, we get into another marriage because we need a woman. And then don't let that man have kids. If that man got kids, he on the search the next day for a new stepmama because he can't handle them kids on his own. Or them kids is at granny house, or them kids with their auntie, or half the kids with their auntie. If he got three, the two youngest ones is out the door with the auntie, and the oldest one is with him, or the oldest one is out the door, and the two youngest with, like, it's something there. Most dudes do not just take on the responsibility of taking care of their kids 100 like women do. They do not do the same thing. They don't do the same level. And how I know that, C. Dave, also because in the home, when the two parents are in the home, the women are still doing the vast majority of the labor in the home for the kids. So make that make sense. You expect me to believe that all of a sudden a switch is flipped, and he doesn't, and since the mom's not there, now all of a sudden he turns into freaking super dad? No. No. That's not true.
Okay, so you made a claim. You said that the stats prove it. What study did you show that says that single dads send their kids off more than single mothers?
I haven't. What are you talking about?
What you mean? What I'm talking about? You made the claim.
Any study that said
Okay,
that?
so you said stats show. What stats show that?
I didn't say that. You just made that up.
So did you make a
I never
claim?
said that.
You just
I said the only thing that I said that was a stat right now was men remarry more than women do.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So you're making a claim that's not based on any statistics, right? You're just making a pulling out your ass claim.
Hold on, wait. See, Dave, I don't know if y'all know this, and I feel like I got to explain this to people like you all the time. Do you understand how studies work and how objective truths work and things of that nature? Because I don't think you guys really have a good grasp on this. But let me explain it to you real quick. There isn't going to be a study for everything. That's not how the world works, right? But what you can do is you can take studies and you could come away from those and you could make general assessments and say, okay, well,
No, you can't.
what is the likelihood? Listen to what I'm saying, C. Dave. If men are more likely to remarry than women, what do you get from that? How do you think that plays into child rearing? You don't think it has any bearing whatsoever on child rearing?
No, you cannot make. That's not how studies work. You can't. If you have a study when you do a study, is based in specific facts, specific details, and things of that nature. You can't take a study and then apply it to something else. That's not how studies work. So again, just because you believe that more mothers don't give up their children than fathers, you're pulling that out your ass because you have nothing to base that on. You don't know. You know less than 0.00% of women in the world. That's not how that works.
But that wait. See that? That's what I'm saying. If you expect me to believe that you're running around here reading studies for everything you believe, who do you think I'm dumb or something like that? Like, you're not doing that. You're not running around here. Let me find a study for everything I think. You don't even be reading the studies you be claiming you be reading.
I'm not saying that, but I'm not.
So why you make me think? Why would you expect me to believe that you are that, like, that's how you live your life? You don't. Nobody does.
I'm not
That's
expecting
stupid.
you to believe that. But what I'm saying is
So what
that
you just said right now.
can't make.
Hold on, see that. What you
Oh
just
my
said
God.
right now, what you just said right now was you pulling shit out of your. You just did the same thing I did. So you claim. You said, well, I've seen, that's pulling stuff out your ass. Right? I didn't ask you cite a source. I just said that I don't believe it. So
No,
what are you
no.
talking about?
When you make a statement such as more women do this than men, you're making a broad and bold statement, and you have
You gotta be
nothing to back.
specific. What is the statement?
You're, what we're talking about. Stop at.
No, be
So you
specific
said.
though.
So you
What
said.
did I say? More women
You
do what?
said that that more men pawn off their children to
Mhm.
other people more so than women.
Yep.
That's that, right. So we can cement that in concrete. That's what you said, right?
Yep. Mhm.
Right. So you made that claim and you have nothing to back that up
I
with.
have a
What do
bunch
you
of
have to
things
back
that will
that up
point,
with?
but see, Dave, because I'm not like you. I'm smart. So
I know.
the way that it works is that I've given you two different studies that point to me that would point to that. A, the fact that when women are in the home, they do way more of the child rearing. Men pass off the child rearing duties to women. If women are around, they pass it off to them. There is studies that prove that. You see what I'm saying? There's a study that proves that. Multiple ones that prove that, right? First and foremost. Then the second part of it was men are more likely to remarry. So when you put those two studies together, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You gotta use your brain sometimes, right? Don't be lazy. When you put those two studies together, all indications point to when men are when men have kids, they give them to the women that's closest to them. That's what men do.
That's not how critical thinking works when you talk about studies. So one, when you're talking about studies with men, so yeah, okay, so men do less of the labor when it comes to children inside of a marriage or when they're together with a woman. However, when they're the sole provider and there's no woman, they have to step up. They have to do those things. They have nobody else to pawn it off to. So they're doing that
What,
type
what
of work.
study? What study did you read that said that, C Day?
That says what?
What you just said. What study says that men have to step up and do all of this stuff? Who told you that?
That's
What
logical. That's
it's
logical
okay
thinking.
now. Okay, cool.
So,
Okay. C Day, hold on, wait.
so
I'm with you.
because
Hold on,
hold
wait.
on.
C Day, I'm with you. Now
Oh my
let's
God.
talk logic.
You gotta let me get a point out, brother.
You did get a point out, but okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Now let's talk logic. Logically, I love that you use that word. Now we're logical, right? Now we're not fact based or whatever you wanted, however you was trying. Now we're logical. Now, logically speaking, if men are in the home with the mother and they're not doing the labor in the home, then that man gets custody of the child. What makes you think that man then is just going to flip a switch and figure it all out? That's my first question. Then my
Okay,
second
so let
question
me
is,
ask you a
hold on,
first
I
question.
got another question for you. I want you to answer too. And the
Let me
second
ask you the
question,
first one first.
no, I know. And the second question is, if that man is, and if men in general are more likely to get remarried again. So now they were married, they had kids, they get divorced. The man goes and gets a new wife. What makes you think that man isn't going to turn and expect that new wife to help him with the child rearing duties? Two questions. Go ahead.
Okay, so to answer your first question, yes, the switch does flip because now this man is put in a position where he has to care for his kids, right? He has to do that work because no one else is there to do it. So, for example, if I am a married person, right, and my wife does all the cooking for for our children, right? We get divorced. Now, guess who's responsible for doing the cooking? The man is. I'm responsible for, and I get custody. I'm responsible for doing the cooking. I'm responsible for taking them to school. I'm responsible for doing their health care and doing all that stuff. I am now responsible for doing that stuff because that's what it takes to raise a child. So yes,
Unless you have a
men are
wife.
flipping that
Wait,
switch.
see, Dave. Unless you have a wife, right? Unless you get a new wife. I hear
Unless
you.
I get a,
If the kid, hold on, wait. I hear you. If the man doesn't have anybody to help him, I'm with you. I agree. I think most men in those scenarios, I think they do step up more than they, you know what I'm saying? Definitely they learn how to do it. No doubt about it. But like I already said, most men get remarried, they get a new
okay.
girlfriend, they get a woman in their life pronto, and that woman, I'm asking you this, the second part of my question. Do you not think that woman starts to help with the child rearing duties?
Absolutely. But we also have to understand that when most men who have children get remarried or get in another relationship, they're getting in relationships or getting married with other women who have children. So they're also taking on responsibilities with the children as well. There's not like they're getting married or getting in relationships with single women with no children. They're also getting in relationships with women who have children. So they're combining their families. So both the man and the woman are getting in relationships with children.
I got a question. Somebody asked a very good question. Nick says, if the switch flips, like after the marriage, why doesn't it flip inside of the marriage? That's a good question.
Because the roles and responsibilities are typically different inside of a marriage, right? So inside of a marriage, yeah, I mean, whether you agree with it or not, yes, typically the roles are different. So
that's not what's going on.
They are different.
No, see, Dave, what's happening inside of a marriage is the men go, I'm going to put everything on her. And then she goes, damn, he's putting a lot on me. And then she does as much as she can do. And then she asks him to do something. And if he steps up and he does what he needs to do, the marriage lives. If he doesn't, she leaves him. That's what I'm just boiling it down to like basic, like basically what I see happen time and time again. She'll step up. I mean, she's doing 80%. She's like, I need you to do 20% more. And he's like, oh, okay. And he does 20% more for 6 months, and then he stops and he's back down to 10%. And she's like, hey, I really needed you to do 30-40% more, but I took the 20, but now you're not even doing that. So now I need 30% more. And he goes, oh, okay, I hear you. Then he does 25% more for 5 months or a year or whatever. And then it goes back to him doing it back to 10 or 15%. And then eventually she stops asking him, and then she starts planning her exit, and then she leaves him. Like that happens all the time. Like that's very common. That scenario plays out. So it's not that the women because it's not told. It's not like it's not defined in the relationship that way. You know that you're in a marriage. Your roles aren't defined like that, right?
Most marriages have some defined roles, right? There are some things that you and your wife do that you expect them to do, and there's some things that your husband expects you. I mean, that your wife expects a husband to do. So there are some defined roles in marriages. We have to understand that. But there is an actual study, and I can bring up. But when you're talking about marriage, right? And there's 3 things when we talk about work in a marriage. You have work like outside of the home work. You have domestic labor, which is like cleaning the house, things of that nature. And then you have the labor with the children, right? When you add all 3 of those things up, men actually work more than women when you combine those 3.
No, they don't.
Okay, I can show you the study. I'm going to show you the study.
Oh, yes.
So when you combine those 3, men actually do more work. Now, the
don't.
bulk of their work, let me finish. The bulk of their work is outside of home as far as making money. Right, but they do manual labor, domestic labor, and they also do.
What percentage? What percentage of women are the breadwinners in their marriage?
It depends on which demographic you're talking about.
Nope. Overall in America,
are the breadwinner 15%?
Yep, 15%. Okay,
right.
And what percentage of women make the same amount of money as their man?
It's probably hovers around the same.
No, it's not. It's more.
What's more?
It's more. They make more women. It's more than 25. It's more than 15%. It's close to like 27, 28%. Right? Okay. So wait. So it's 20. I think it's 16 and 29%. 16 and 29%. Add those 2 numbers up. What do you get?
You can't. That's not how that works, brother.
Hold on, sir, stop. That is how it works. You don't. If you don't know math, just say that. 16 plus 29 is 45%. So right off the rip, 45% of marriages, women make as much or more money than their husbands. What percentage of men are the breadwinners?
I just told you. So if 15% of the marriages of men make more money, then that means what?
No. I said women. I said women. 15% is actually 16. 16% of women make more money. They're the breadwinners. 29% make the same amount of money. Add those 2 up, you got 45%. So almost half the women make as much or more than the man in their relationship. First and foremost, Second, now my second question is,
That's not how that math works. Oh my
that
God.
is how the
That's
math
not how
works.
that math works, brother. Oh my God. For you to,
See, Dave, stop.
brother, no,
If you
I'm
don't know
trying to
math,
keep me
just
off,
say
but that's
that.
not how that math works.
How
That's
does the
not how
math
that
work,
math
C
works
Dave?
at all.
Tell
That's
me, how
not
does the
how it
math work?
works. So
Tell me.
you cannot. So one, you cannot say that. You cannot use two stats like that and then combine them to get a 45%. That's not how
That's
it works.
literally what they did in the study. I'm telling. What are you
What
talking
study?
about?
What
That's what
study?
they did.
What
That's
study?
what they did. That's how
Watch
I
this.
knew it.
What study?
In this, brother, I got a video on my
I don't
page.
care about the video. Just tell me the study so I
I
can look
show
it
it.
up
I'm
myself.
not a sir. I am not autistic. I cannot read. I don't have that beautiful mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that, brother. I don't recall studies like that, nor do you. So stop it. I'm telling you, though, I have a whole video where I talk about it on my page and I show the study on my page. So it's on there. You can fish through it. I can send it to you later, whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, that is how they did the math, not me. And that is how the math works. You just don't know how math works. And you don't know how studies work. And you're proving it right now. I already said you didn't. You're proving it right now. So when they took a pie, this is how it works. It's 100%. That's how a pie works, right? It's a pie chart. It's 100%. And it was men and women in this pie chart, right? Of couples. I'm saying it was couples. And they said, okay, what percentage of men do this? And it was out of that pie chart, it was like 40% of men do that. So then they said, okay, cool. So 40% of men do that, and 10% of men do, or 15% of men do that. That it's a separate part of the pie, brother. It's a separate part of it. So they said 15 plus 50 or 40 or whatever, that's 55% of men do this. And they said, what percentage of men? That's 45% of women do that. And that's how the math works. I promise you, they separated the two. They did it in the study, right? So back to my point. Do you know that when women make more money than their men, they do more labor in the home? That's the first part of that's the first part of it. The second part of it is, do you know that women do more labor in the home, also proven in this study and many other studies? I don't know what study you talking about. You sound like you're just making that shit up. But that women do more labor in the home than the men do as well. And considering the fact that 70% of women work, 70% of married women work. So right off the rip, you got the vast majority of women work. Then you add to that, the majority of women do more labor in the home. Women spend twice as much time with the kids on average than men do. Twice as much. I think on average it was like the women spent like oh my goodness, I want to say it was like 3 hours a week or something like that, and the women spent like 6 hours a week. It was something, or it was like 6 and 12, something like that. But anyways, women spend double the amount of time with the kids than men do. They do. We already know women do more labor in the home outside of the kids, just cooking, cleaning, all that other stuff. And then they work too. And the average person works 40 hours a week, man, woman, and it don't fucking matter. So I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like you're just making some stuff up. And we all know that when men make more money, they don't do jack crap when they come home. Because even the men, when they make less money, they don't do jack crap when they come home. Make that make sense. That's crazy. That's crazy. You just saying stuff. When the men and the women make the same amount of money, when the men and the women make the same amount of money, the men do far less than the women. You think you expect me to believe that when the women that when the men make more money, they're doing more work than the women in more hours?
No, so what the study actually shows is that when women and men make comparable amount of money, either the same or even when the woman makes more, the husband then does more work in the home. He does more labor work, like he does more of the laborer's work. He does more of the work with the children. So yes, so whoever makes the money, if they're spending more time at work, the other partner typically is doing the other amount of work. So of course, if you have the majority of marriages where the man is doing making the majority of the money or more money, then the woman is actually doing more work at home. That doesn't mean that she's not working as well.
That's
But men in marriages spend 10 times more time at work making money.
No, they
for
don't.
the family.
That's
Yes,
a
they
lie too. Both of those things are a lie. Cite the source. Mine was Pew, by the way. If you want to look it up.
Pew. Okay, Pew. So I'm glad you said that. So Pew, because I'm actually a Pew. So you think Pew is a reputable source? I'm glad you put that up. So
I
here's the
think
Pew.
Pew is a reputable source. Yeah, Pew is a decent source. Yes.
Okay, cool. So when we're talking about Pew, oh, excuse me. So when
Oh,
we
we
talk
got
about
10 on C
division,
Dave's head, by the way. If you guys are wondering, they got 10 on your head, C Dave. Keep going.
I
Though.
don't even know what that means.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So when we're talking about Pew Research right here says the division of labor. Men, outside of when they're working, men average between 55 hours of work each week. Women average 30.
Say that again. When women do what? I missed the first part. Say it again.
Women average 30.
No. Go back to the beginning.
50. Okay, men average 55 hours per week at work. Women average 30. Okay. When it comes to domestic labor, you were right. Women average about 6, men average about 3. And when it comes to labor with the children, women average about 6, men average about 4. Who's doing the most work?
Who's doing the most work in the home?
Yeah, who's
The
doing the
average
most
man
work?
works 55 hours a week and the average woman works 30.
Yes.
That's a lie. I would have to see that. I've never seen that before.
It's Pew. It's Pew
Yeah.
Research. So here's the title. Let me scroll back up. You can pull it up yourself.
Mhm.
All right. It's called the Pew Research Center, the growing share of U.S. marriages between husband and wives.
I can't. It ain't gonna let me do it on here. Hold on.
Oh, now the computer don't work.
No, it's
I'm pretty-
because I'm live on YouTube, C Dave.
Huh?
Because I'm live on YouTube
Oh,
simultaneously.
okay. I got you. Now, in this same article, it shows that when this is where I got the stat about when women start making more or the same amount as their husband, that the husband then starts doing more work at home. It starts to even out.
Bullshit.
So when listen, you can call it bullshit. That's what the Pew Research says. That's what the study says.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'm looking at it. You don't have it in front of you. I'm looking at it. You want me to give you the table?
The table?
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of tables in here that does a whole bunch of.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm
Even
really
break it
not
down
about to
by
go through
black,
all of this
Hispanic.
right now in this moment, but I was about to start doing it. I was like, this is why I hate doing this shit because it's too distracting. It fucks up the live. It just makes it boring now. But anyways, though, so I'll take your word for it in this moment, just because, right? Just to put it to bed. I think that what you're saying is untrue and inaccurate. That's me. That's me. I don't think it's true. I've read multiple studies on this. We got 20 on C Dave here, by the way. Yeah, multiple studies done.
I'm not speaking it. This is what this research says. I'm not reading the study correctly. You can read it for yourself. I gave everybody this. Y'all can go to it right now. I gave you the
We got
the source.
30. We got 30 on C Dave here.
What's this? What, to get kicked off? I'll just leave. If you want me to leave or you want to make some more money?
I don't want you to leave, but I'm talking to you. But the crowd is in control, brother.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you want me to leave,
I'm not kicking you. If I wanted you to leave, I would drop you, C Dave. It ain't me.
Okay, well then you can make some more money off of me until I get off.
I'm just telling you, brother. Damn, what you want me to do?
No, I'm not mad about it.
I'm not even telling you. I'm telling them. They the ones that need to know. It's 35. Keep going. Don't take it personal. Well, you can't take it personal, but I wouldn't.
Nah, I'm not taking it personal. I get kicked off alive every day.
Yeah, I wasn't.
So you said that's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's what the study and the research says, and this is Pew Research. So it's not me saying it. It's what the research says. So you can call it a lie all you want to, but argue with the research, not me. You can't post links in live, bro. I gave y'all the title. It's pewresearch.org. The title of the study is, I'll give the title one more time before I get kicked off. In a growing share of U.S. marriages, husbands and wives. Pew Research.
Okay.
The date was April 13, 2023, so it's fairly recent.
All right, we got. Oh shit, got somebody in the queue. Coco, what's good?
So I just came up because I'm reading the study that he's citing from, and in the title itself, it says that I'm gonna paraphrase because I have it on my phone and I'm using my phone right now.
Yeah.
But basically, what it says is that even in egalitarian marriages where the husband and wife earn a similar amount of money, the husband spends more time doing paid labor, however, and paid labor and leisurely activities, and the wife spends more time doing caregiving and domestic chores. So it does. It says the husband does do more time for paid labor. However, he also spends more time doing leisurely things that he enjoys, while the wife is doing domestic work and caregiving. So he didn't actually read what the study says.
Oh man.
Okay, cool. So go down to table. What's this? The first table. What does that say, champ?
In the first table that I saw, it said that husbands and wives do just almost the same amount of paid labor. So I think the husbands were like 44 something percent and the wives were like 41 something percent. But then you saw the disparity start to increase when we talked about domestic labor and caregiving.
No, it didn't. I don't know what you're reading, but I'm gonna read it verbatim.
This is a study from 2024, right? Because that's the one I'm looking at.
This study was April 2023, April 13th, 2023.
Okay, well, there's a newer study that I'm looking at.
Okay, that's possible. But the one I'm reading right now clearly says that men do. Let me see.
He did just say 2024, but
My bad. I misspoke. Actually, it is April 2023. I misspoke.
okay.
Oh, okay. So we were looking at the same one, and you're telling me. So it does it not say when men and women make the same amount of money or equal amount of money that they do more work in the home?
That's not what it says. No.
Oh my God!
Literally not what it
You can't
says.
read. You can't read. So it clearly says.
He can't read.
I can read, sir. That's not what it says. It literally does not say that. It says that men do more paid labor and more leisurely activities, and women do more caregiving and domestic activities, domestic work in the home. Do you understand what that means? Yes, men are doing more paid labor, but they're also doing more activities they enjoy that don't contribute to the home on their own enjoyment. You cannot read.
That's what I was thinking.
So when it says right here, it has it broke down by a chart, right? I don't know why I gotta read this to people, but it's broke down. Hold on, let me go back. It's broke down by a chart, right?
They got 35 on that boy head, by the way.
It has all wives, right? All wives.
Andrea did it.
Oh, okay. All right, man. Yeah, y'all take it easy then.
Andrea dropped the rest, y'all. The world may never know. We was almost there.